Come here, buddy. Come here, Casper. Look at that good boy. Come here, buddy. Oh, he's gonna come right up. Come here, buddy. So I get a lot of questions about Casper here and like, where does he come from? Why is he here? Things like that. So all the alligators that we have in the pond here are what are known as nuisance alligators. Okay, so that means they're the ones that showed up in a backyard, swimming pool, ate Fluffy, stuff like this, right? Now, once an alligator causes a problem like this, they are typically captured and killed, which is very unfortunate. Now, we're very thankful that we work with one of the only non-kill alligator trappers, and I work under him, and I go out and I capture these guys myself with Gabby, and we're able to save these nuisance alligators that would have otherwise been shot and killed. Now, they're otherwise shot and killed because other trappers actually make their living selling the meat and the hide. And the state of Florida does not allow relocation of nuisance gators back out in the wild because they have a homing ability. They return to where they're caught from. This means that about 7,000 to 8,000 nuisance gators per year are killed in the state of Florida, which is awful. It's really sad. It's not their fault. It's a nuisance person problem, not a nuisance gator problem, which is why I always like to tell everybody, don't be a nuisance person. Don't ever feed them. Okay, that's a really big one. Don't feed them. Don't let your kids or pets near the water's edge. And then also, don't do this. Don't go swimming with them. Okay, now we do this here because he's a trained animal I've worked with for a long time, but in the wild, it is very, very dangerous. So you don't want to do any of those things. Now, what else is really cool about my in-water tours is that it's a voluntary experience. Well, for one, it's not a zoo, it's a rescue. He's here because he's non-releasable wildlife, okay? And the animals that we can rehab and release, we do. But he is non-releasable, so he's gonna live out his life here. But it's also really cool because he has this entire area, and we don't make him do the tour, I ask him to do the tour. So I ask him, come here, Casper, come here. So I ask him to come here, and he comes. There you go. Look at that. So I ask him to participate in the tour, so he's a willing, voluntary participation, okay? Which is really important because a lot of people are not sure about this, and a lot of people are worried about wildlife tourism right now, as they should be. Things like Tiger King have highlighted a lot of problems in the wildlife tourism industry. And so it's important to show that in this environment, working with him, it is a voluntary experience, and he's here as non-releasable animal, okay? We're also trying to make this as educational and conservation-oriented as we can. And helping me film today is somebody from the tour. Why don't you turn around and show everybody, say hi.
Hi, I'm Carrie.
What'd you think?
I absolutely loved it. I mean, getting face-to-face with an alligator, I mean, not something I thought I'd ever do, but I mean, it's definitely something I can definitely cross off my bucket list.
Yeah, so he's in here right now, hanging out with Casper right after one of my tours. Now, was he scary?
Oh, yes. I will not lie. He was definitely scary at first, but I mean, I've grown to definitely love Casper. I mean, like, this is something really, really incredible. But I mean, I've definitely, I feel like I've sort of grown as a person. I mean, like, sort of getting face to face with my favorite animal in the world.
That's so cool.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm really glad you enjoyed it. You had fun. Casper had fun.
Oh, yes.
And Casper gets a treat for being a good boy. Come here. Casper, come. There you go. All right.